We've gone online for the entire semester, and that is new for everybody on this campus. This is the first time, and hopefully the only time, that we take a brick and mortar institution and turn it into an online institution in the middle of a semester. That's new territory for all of us, and we're figuring out how to do it on the fly, but we're going to get through. One of the things that we're really trying to focus on is giving students everything they need to succeed. And we know that this is an unusual set of circumstances. This is going to be challenges that we haven't even anticipated. The main portal for students to engage their academic work is Moodle, our online delivery course management system. Probably most students will do all of their coursework through that site. Every class connected to Moodle will have assignments. There'll be interactive activities. So going to Moodle every day and regularly is going to be a big first step. But we're not just going to leave students there. We're making sure that we have online help available. We have got the Writing Center, the Math Lab, academic coaching, and all the resources that a student would need on campus, off campus. They can still go to the library and they can get tutoring online, and we're making sure those resources are available in a virtual environment. We do have a lot of student services that have to continue. Students still need advising. They still need help with financial aid. They still need help with registration. So those operations are still ongoing, and all those offices are being staffed so they can operate remotely. It won't be the same, but what we're trying to do is have a situation where students can get all the help they need, whether it's academic or administrative, and not have to have that physical contact that's just impossible right now. In this environment, we're going to instruction using the term asynchronous, and that means that a class will have an activity that needs to be done by a certain time, but doesn't have to be done simultaneously. So with asynchronous instruction, the important thing is for the student to figure out their schedule, and the best advice we've gotten is to build a schedule and stick to it. While there's a great deal of flexibility with online programs, some students struggle with the freedom of being able to build their own schedule. So families and students should probably sit down and build a schedule that gives time for academic work. Studies show that a student who is online, who does create a space, both a physical and a psychological space to work, those students tend to do better. So our advice is to create a workspace where you go to class. In Moodle itself, there's all kinds of ways that you can reach out to a professor. You can send them a private message. You can post a question on a message board. But remember, too, that professors still have email, and they're still out there for you in other ways. It will be more incumbent on students to make that connection, to reach out and send a note saying, you know, I watched that online lecture you posted, but this is a concept I didn't quite get my handle on. Can you give me another way to approach this? And that connection does require a little bit more effort on the instructor side and the student side. There's also some key contacts that don't necessarily have websites that students need to put into their minds. Of course, the professor contact information I just mentioned. Knowing who your advisor is and getting contact with that advisor is very important. The advisor is going to be a key person to help you adjust if things aren't the way they should be in your schedule, and to think about next semester, which of course normally we'd be discussing next semester schedules in person. Thirdly, knowing the department chair's contact information. That's all on Coastal's website through the directory, but there'll be times when the department chair needs to be aware that you're facing particular circumstances and challenges. A great resource that all students are used to pulling on and will continue to use even in this environment is Shant 411. They're the nexus of information. They have all the latest updates on every circumstance, and if you can't figure out how to get an answer, you can start there and they can point you in the right direction. The student stress has got to be high. We know that the faculty and staff stress is elevated right now, so there will be moments where this will be overwhelming to a student. You're home when you didn't expect to be home, or you're not home because circumstances don't allow you to go home, and all the classes that used to be face-to-face are now in a very different setting. So there'll be moments where you first have to take care of yourself physically and be aware of the social distancing recommendations we're all following, but also think about your state of mind and be open to the fact that this will cause moments of frustration, of anger, and that those moments are to be expected, and to taking care of yourself also means understanding your limits in an environment that none of us could have planned for. We know students have already invested in this semester, in this year, and in their degree. So when we talk about how difficult this is, and we talk about the challenges we're facing, It is much better to be able to complete the term, even under less than ideal circumstances, than decide that this semester never happened and those credits will never be earned and those grades will never be assigned. You're going to have a long life and hopefully a successful career, and you'll look back at these 8 weeks as the most unusual 8 weeks of your college career, but they shouldn't be the defining 8 weeks. They shouldn't determine what happens to you next, and we'll keep working with you to help you achieve whatever you wanted to achieve when you arrived at this campus.